Yes. Am I on? Am I on? It's time. Uh, like, not much. I'm still kind of nervous when I. Is if my microphone is not okay, then hold on. I'll be back in a sec. Let me just rearrange. Is this good enough? Mic is too loud, then I can. Yeah. Welcome again to my live stream. Minecraft today. Mic is a bit too loud. I can understand. Telling you how my voice sounds like. I still don't have very good quality headphones. I have quality headphones anytime. Planning to buy new ones. My spare time, I like building airplanes. I like building aircraft because they take way less than. Yes, they're much easier. I know most of these because talent for talently very good at it. Credit the credits in building. I know how to shape and make them the exact look. Although in some cases I I don't have enough blocks or materials to make it the exact coloring example. I wanted blue, but I don't have blue, and I need sometimes slab and layers to make the slope airplane. Example, um, the blue A6 Mitsubishi Zero Mustang. I built this myself and came from Uh, I just know how to build. That's all. These are colored because these are color example. This is an F-14 Tomcat, lifelike. The Iceman and Slider Tomcat, the Maverick and Goose Tomcat. And we have the Jolly Rogers. Uh, Not usually the best of buildings because they really need shape, size, how big you want them to be. Especially you need the and then we have right usually their time. We have more real life aircraft such as the F-18 Maverick and we have the MiG-29, the Ghost Life Russian Ukrainian pilot, Ace in a Day, who many people are familiar with. Not many people. Anyway, some of these are from Ace Two Strike Wyvern, about the 6th Gen fighter aircraft. I have this one from another game, Project Wingman, W Mark 1 Crimson. Then we have Eagles like F-15. F This is an SE F-15E. This is an F-15 variant of an Eagle. Supposedly the never built Eagle in real life after the sea has taken the F-15 MTD. Called the MTD because of one. Unlike the rest of other Eagles, this one has rectangular-ish cylinders, normal cylinders of the infamous Ace Combat Razgrees, Edge, Upper, and have others from Ace Combat 6, both F-15Es, the Garuda team, Talisman, Shamrock, then we have Cypher and Pixie. The game. Uh, this is a building hobby or a thing for me. I like building stuff like told by people before. These were very amazing, the shape and the size that I've made from F-22 Raptor I built. It's like the actual Raptor, extensively bended uh, tails, aileron shapes, wings that shape look like the Raptor. My mic is a bit cloudy, or it's a bit laggy, and maybe because I'm a bit near electric fan. I'm trying to keep my distance up. Yeah, I talk too much a bit. Kinda nervous to speak proper, like maybe a bit normal. Yeah, uh, I first started building back at the days in 20. The first things I liked building were warships because they inspired me. Big, gigantic, they're massive, way over tons. I think the very first time I've ever saw the way they look like back in 2019, I wanted to build them, but I was more interested. Yeah, I have a first airplane that I like building, F-15. Favorite because of how simple the shape is and how it's very commonly built, and how it has those vertical, rectangular, triangle-ish looking. Oh, and that's the Dark Star, SR-72 Dark Star, a prop aircraft that was never built, formerly known to go above Mach 10 sound. Then we have the F-16s. The F-16s are very common, and they have a single tail, single air intake. Makes them an unstable aircraft, and probably one of my second most favorites, or third most favorite, because I've been a fan of the F-14, more iconic Top Gun childhood movie, and time as a young boy. Styles, which are long range, heavy. Yeah, if I sound a bit nervous, apologize. Not that. Hold on, 1 second. Sorry for the delay. Um, I'm back. Wait, wait. Hang on a second. Yeah, sorry for the delay again. Trying to find out what for discussions. I think we're gonna go to the discussions about what I'm gonna do with this channel and what I'm gonna try doing. That it would be a little more entertaining. Talk about it. Anyway, um, since this channel started back at the early days of at the middle days of 2020, just Christmas, and I started my first video 7 months ago. Planning to try and say I want to try doing what people usually like to do, as in teach them how to build this, how to build that, and planning how to build a giant warship, a giant an aircraft, and anything you like in size. And it can be creativity, survivability, or whatever you pick. It's so what I'm gonna do is part by part. And what I mean by part, I'm going to cut through uh if I finish building one part, example, one part of a ship, that then I'm going to make another part, hull of a ship. Let me just say let's give an example. Example, let's go to Yamato. Everyone probably knows this ship because she's a World War II relic who's partially rare in real life and historically real life ship because she was sunk and where it's seen all the plan a little bit of largest battleship in history, the World War II. Although she was the wrong battleship, right battleship in the wrong timeline, still had a purpose, fight to the bitter end because she had very little commission life at didn't see service target for many aircraft. Time 1945, air power was already very important. Guns, all guns blazing, died at the era 5, sadly. Air power is now taking over. Anyway, onto the thing about instructions and we have example. I'm going to build a simple ship. Example as big as this. I'm going to build first the I will tell you how many blocks would this take. There, all the way to the back. Then after this, I want to build I will do a second part where the hull, the bow, front bow. We're gonna do the midsection, and as we're doing this, we also need to make a ship look curvaceous, curvy. You have to make the ship look curvy, round. It can be any of your style. It can be any style. Whether you want the ship to look a bit taller, whether you want the ship to look Then after going from section, we're gonna go to the bridge part because the bridge part is important. Then to the aft deck, all the way to the back ship, and then to the where the shaft and propellers are supposed to be. Right. Then we're going to do anti-air weaponry. You can do one by one, or you can add. You can make whatever anti-aircraft weapon you want, and however you like. For me, I like making an anti-air weapon. I like using bricks, slabs, and then the bricks. Then I also like using rods, lightning rods, a lot like the gun is automated. Then after adding all those anti-aircraft weaponry, after adding all of those, construction and by how you entire ship bridge, by entire bridge from mass, stack, then important parts like radar, so air radar. Finally, in the last part of a ship, uh, it's just the auxiliaries. Example, the Japanese flag I put here, times the lighting, so that the ship has an effect where if I go away from this spot, there will be a portion of a ship that's lighting. And if we're doing aircraft carriers, which is also going to be a very difficult thing to build, because aircraft carriers take a lot of time and a lot of effort to build one. We have lights over here. Want to make sure that those lights are not seen anywhere else at the bottom. Lights to be seen, not down here, so that they give a feel that the deck is lively. Then we have also the guns, because the guns are very important. There is no such thing. There is a ship uh, that has no guns, but there's no battleship with no guns. We're talking about Kirov, Moskva. No, we're talking about big battleships and big battleships that I usually like to modernize. I usually like to build, and I usually like because they are historically accurate. I can build the real life historical versions of these. Example, I can build a Yamato to become the IJN Yamato, and I can make her look X, manned anti-air weaponry. Sometimes in my auxiliaries, I like to put, like example, a butterfly, and I colored it blue. Because a common color for butterfly is usually blue. That's also that's a part of my story. Then always, always know that lights are important, life, rather than seeing it all dead and emotionless. I go by my adverbs from ship. Now, a ship is usually called a she because they are, by superstition, sailor, to a sailor's belief, that they look after the crew like it is their child. Take care of a ship, it will take care of you. Saying goes, take care of your ship and she will. That's the saying. If I then I like also putting words sometimes in my bridge. JSDF. I like putting that word. Japanese Self-Defense Force, and I know Yamato doesn't exist as actual modern battleship, unlike the Iowa classes in real life, who once served in the Korean War, Vietnam War, many others. Commissioned, decommissioned, recommissioned. Although she now lives as a floating monument, she's a battleship who might be active someday. And if you like building auxiliaries, if you want to go a bit old style, you can put catapults, cranes, lift up the hangar. Give the hangar some light. The hangars usually need light to keep them at bay and away. Best to always put a light underneath the hangar so that it's lively. That's pretty much it. What I wanted to share. I want to start. I want to start some. What I'm capable of, talents and all. I know this sounds a bit take me a while or months, years. Don't mind. I want to do this. Make myself believe that I want to make others believe that they also have talents in them. One of them is being Minecraft. Because I've learned how to build when I was still 13 years old, which I'm currently now at my 20s. Those were my days back then as a so I wanted to bring out my experience as a Minecraft builder that where I've been on for almost 9 years, for almost a decade, to and maybe it's a first time, but in the future times, rather than just building ships and aircraft, I would build buildings, lots of buildings, airships, buildings, and maybe those like from movies. Example, the Shrek Castle from Far Far Away, which I can do, but takes really a lot of days. I've had experience with not that much because I've been more into ship. And usually, when I build a ship, I call it my home. Yes, uh, I used to design interiors and I would make it look like it has a home to live in, a place to stay while you're sailing at sea, floating fortress like a floating castle. Back. Oh, I can show you a carrier. Everyone knows I build big ships. I don't only build battleships. I like building other smaller. Those smaller things are like just less than a few hours, or are just less than a few 6 hours or 8 hours. If you're gonna build a battleship, the battleship would usually take, depending on how your time management is, take days. It would sometimes take 2 weeks. It would take a month to finish one. But for my own, building a battleship takes me at least a month to finish. Or it takes me 6 hours or less because they're small, simple, much more easier to build. Yes, while there's much more easier to, they're still big. Putting numbers on a ship is very important. Example, a Sudachi, Japanese ship that is a Kame class. We have this. It's also my own build. I call this the HMS Wonder because, like the name, Wonder. Then we have corvettes. They're much smaller and they're a little more easier to build. They sometimes take only 2 hours. But if you're quick, you can take probably just 1 hour and 30 minutes and less. They are small because they look like a fast boat. Like a fast boat. When I mean like fast boat, as in like a cruise boat, probably like a small cruise. Then we have cruisers are usually large. They take if I were to tell you how it would take you to finish, probably take you one day to be designed as very detailed, then I leave that up to you. One, I'm planning to be a build. Maybe there are already tons of people like me who already have been doing that for a tremendous amount of time. Say Minecraft was still fresh, came out of PlayStation and mobiles, but I want to be one of those. I can build like best. Oh, and this is what a carrier actually looks like. Big. Yes, it takes tremendous amount of time. You very have to be very wary that a carrier, this is a nuclear powered carrier, unlike your normal typical World War II carrier or World War, very large because of the overall hull size that it has. From hull, very small. Counterbalance. There was one reason why they made these bulges so that they can counter the waves in case typhoon, in case storms coming. Bulges will keep that water from capsizing a ship less. Now for a carrier, it's very simple to build one. Want it to be wide. That's not. Want to have catapults. That's not. Want it to have elevators. That's You also want airplanes in on board that. Carriers take more time, in my opinion. Building one is like building an entire uh, city, building an entire village. In a normal, in normal countermeasures, a carrier can carry up to a carrier can carry up to 6,000 people. Less 6,000 people is already like a village in one. And usually in nuclear powered carriers have angled decks. Unlike normal carriers that have straight, they have angled. The reason why angled decks that they is so that is because they need their aircraft landed down here. They need to land that perfectly and get attached to these barbed wires, where they attach cables in case that they land. And most importantly, a plane lands way more aggressive in a carrier than a normal soft landing. They land way more aggressive because they have these cables that are attached to that them from um, flying over to the deck of a ship. For two carriers, they were a lot less. They were a lot less. They were a lot less more. They were a lot. I'm They are a lot less harder to let a plane land because they only use piston engine. Unlike these era of nuclear powered carriers, put cables and they already have jet engines with them. So if they attach these cables in case a simple plane lands, example an F-14 lands, that cable will attach from its hook so that it will maintain in one spot from going further. One of the other important things about they have elevators. Now elevators are like those that you see from parking lots, car wash, and all, or lifting up the aircraft. And use what aircraft they need to be a bit smaller. For example, F-14s. They need to be small, very small, that they could land, so that they could fit inside a ship. Mostly carriers like to put smaller aircraft like F-14s, F-16s, and F-8. Their shape and their size is enough to fit a single. And fitting a tire hanger inside are where most planes are usually located at. Most planes are usually inside the hangar. Some planes don't usually stay out on the deck, not like World War II, because the reason why they stay inside is so that they are safe anti-air weaponry or aircraft. Nuclear-powered carriers are very important in today's Without them, aviation, without them, we cannot carry, can't carry just an entire fortress of airplanes. Let them stay there. So we want to make a sea fortress. They wanted to make a sea fortress that can carry many airplanes as possible, ranging from 100 to 90. 100 to 90, that's a lot in a single aircraft carrier. Building an aircraft carrier, I'm going hard. You need to be complex. You need shallow. All it's to have to make sure you got the right size. I'll be probably helping build something like this. Building is a skill, and it's a kind of creativity. Something that I'm capable of doing. It's something that I can help people learn. Maybe there are tons of people already know Minecraft players who have been pro professional builders and have been around since probably the beginning on where Minecraft was still beta. Minecraft was around 2009 2010. So I started playing this game back at 2007, 2018 to be exact. And in 2014, I did play similar games like these, except they were not the real version. Until I got this PlayStation, where I started building a lot of things back in another account. Then where I can build yeah, I guess I'm have yeah, I do have a probably speaking throughout the mic. I started doing that. I did that back 7 months ago, but not like through live stream kinds of videos. Get engaged into topic on how they hang on, hold on. Ah, yes. Ah, I see someone responded to my building. Yeah, that is a butterfly. I like putting a butterfly because it symbolizes many things. But for me, butterflies are usually the symbol of justice, fame, and the balance. You're not, and I like those three things. Symbolize a single butterfly. And this is a fan build ship, not currently not the one from the real life Nimitz. I call this one the Kiryu. Kiryu in Metal Dragon. That's what it means. Metal Dragon. Yamato is named after a province of Japan, the prefecture province of Japan, somewhere in Tokyo. Dachi, and we have these. I haven't given them names yet, but they are corvettes. They're my own building. And we have this, which I've currently built today, named Mirai. Mirai, Mirai, in English, the future, especially for a girl. Most ships are called she. There, there is a superstition that says that you should never hit a ship with a water bottle or something else. You should always hit a ship when she is ready to be commissioned or released after being built with a wine bottle or champagne. The reason why they say this is because wine bottles and champagnes are usually luck. Water bottles or bad luck. If a sha- if a ship gets hit by a champagne bottle, they will have a good career. But if it's a water bottle, they will sink rapidly or easily. Just like what happened to the historical battleship BB-39 Arizona. Got sunk by a single bomb in Pearl Harbor of this cell. Uh, that's one of the most tragic things I've heard in Pearl. Not as more as tragic as Yamato, who exploded seen all the way to Japan after being sunk by thousands of aircraft and losing more than 3,000 men on board. That's way worse. Well, I know my history and I read them. I've been doing back in the day on 2015 after I got engaged with songs like, well, there is a band I know called Sabaton, but I've also got engaged with Yarn Hub and other things. That's where I also got my knowledge from it. Same goes with Simple History. Commented again. Thank you as well for commenting that. You like the butterfly. Thank you very much. Designing a butterfly is also hard to, like also designing an auxiliary. Example, designing a butterfly and a flag would look like this. I can't design the actual butterfly because the flag is too small. The butterfly usually needs to be if I want to design a butterfly to look bigger, I would want it to look like this and mid-size. If I want to design larger, I would want them to be this big. But if we're going for something humongous or extra large, we would do it, I would do it like this. Yeah, building a ship is not easy. If you want to, so probably if you're willing to learn, you can take it from me because someday I'll be putting my videos rather from a rather from a live tutorial time to time. Uh, how I do it is like I would get a single ship. I would look at the design, then I will go from overview, top to bottom, then from back to front to back, then add weapons, then add the design, all the shape and size of all the shapes and all the size of how it's going to look like. Example, this is example. The Yamato's actual structure was way less big. It was stacked and stiff and a lot more like triangle. This one I did was a modern Yamato with a more flat and squarish mass. Then we have smokestack. Smokestacks would always usually have to make them look. They don't look so simple. Yeah, I know how to do. Yeah, I can teach a lot of people and help a lot of people do. I've had my I've I'm a self I am a self-taught person. Self-taught person. I do these because I do these for a living. Self-taught person. I learn from the previous building from where I started back at 2014, 20, and then I evolved from that over the years and make them better, improve, and then until such time my ships look like the actual size I want them to be. I've got this far for almost now a decade because I've had 9 years. I've had 9 years of experience as a builder. I I have also my own fan-made builds. My fan-made builds are like British battleships. I love British battleships and don't show them usually often. I don't usually build them much. But I did build an HMS Hood before. I haven't tried building the modern version of her or World War II version because building takes a lot of time and quite a much to learn. If you're one of those type of guys who like to build from uh, external to in, then I can do that too. But if you're gonna do, but it usually takes extra time because doing interior designing will take you over more than 5 months or 4 months to finish. I don't do internal designs because they don't. I've sort of lost interest in them. Planning to do that again because internal designing takes a lot of time and it's very complicated to build. To make sure you have the accurate designs, you have the actual details. You want the carpets, you want the actual floor coloring, you also want the exterior designing of it. You want design, then you also want make it look like, oh, it's fancy. Now, I've seen tons of people make ships fancy as fancy as the interior designings would look, but I've also seen them done in houses, airships, and many other things. A ship, it takes a lot of designing that you have to endure the amount of depending on the time management you have. The key to building, it's to manage your time and it's also spare time. And I'm gonna say it again. My British ship has no interior design, as you can see. Nothing but an empty shell. I can do ships like that someday, and I will not be super specific how I'm going to design them historically. I want to design them the way I want them to be designed. For example, I want to put a dining area in the aft deck. I want to put a bathroom at the stern. I want to put the engine room in the very back of a ship. I want to put staircases. I also want to put elevators and all that. Make a ship look like it's alive. I'm going to say it again. It takes a lot of time to do these effort, and lots of you need lots of endurance, lots of patience, lots of lots of things that you need. A lot of other things that you might. Building a ship is not easy as building an airplane. I can show you how to build an airplane because an aircraft or a jet fighter or an airplane or warplane is much easier. They're smaller, they're less complicated, and they just look like the human-sized version of you. But you just need to know how to make bigger, and like a ship is complicated to build. But I can help people uh, build and instruct them. And I'm good at as simple. Now, I haven't started it yet because I still have a poor quality on mic and kind of poor quality on they're kind of old. Trying to get new ones so I can continue talking in a fresh pair of headphones. And yes, I am playing on a PlayStation rather than a computer because this is where majority of my buildings are. Majority of my buildings are, I mean, in a PlayStation. I've been always building here. I couldn't buy as well. I couldn't have there yet, but I bought it recently in laptop too. I can also start building there. I guess that's all I'm going to have to say. That's all I'm going to have to share. Uh, s- I'm currently planning. for future purposes. And I'm doing this so that I can show. Well, I'm doing this because being creative, it's a skill, and creativity is never wasted. A person, it's fine to be wherever you want in this game. As long as you like doing it, don't mind me doing this. Trying to do that I don't get confused with where my buildings are from here to there. Well, I think that's all the time I have today. Not to rain in my area. Clouds are very bad, so if I lose any of my progress from this game, it'll oof me. It's been fun streaming, and this is my second time. I I'm I'm I feel a bit. I can build up confidence. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate one more than an hour and 30 minutes. Thank you as well. Happy that you enjoyed. Um, it's nice to do these. Yes, I can grow. Yes, I'm planning to also grow my channel furthermore into the future. Right now, what I want to do channel is what I like to do and to help people. So, the, the long story short, I want to instruct people how I'm gonna help you, how to build a battleship, how to build a destroyer, how to build a cruiser, how to build an airplane, how to build a warplane, how to build a jet fighter. And we're gonna piece by piece that, part by part. When I mean part by part, I'm going to cut from one part to another, then I will continue from another part to another part until it reaches the last part of the building. How I'm gonna do it, and that's how I'm planning to do it for many future purposes. And if this channel gets attention more, then I'm happy to a little more open to online from outside of people from Europe, Asia, and especially Americans. Thank you very much for being here with me and share what you can share people tell people tell people that share them the things I said today. Thank you very much again. And I'll see you another time. Goodbye.